Hi, my name is Zaid Soomro. I am a founder and CEO. Anyone can everyone hear me? All right, perfect. Okay, um, that's perfect timing. Awesome. All right. Um, I guess I have to speak louder now. My name is Zaid Soomro. I'm a founder and CEO at FitBuds. More about FitBuds at the end. A little bit about myself. So, in pursuing FitBuds, I found out that I'm a solopreneur. If you guys are confused what solopreneur is, I doubt because most of you probably know and are solopreneurs. Here's a quick meme of what solopreneurs do. Um, yeah. So as you know, so the problem with solopreneurs is going to be my main focus of today's talk. Um, so the most common problem solopreneurs face are following: lack of resources, lack of motivation, time management, feeling isolated, and feeling overwhelmed. And a lot of people can tackle some of these problems, but it becomes a challenge when you have a big project and you have to tackle all. You also have to tackle these problems. Um, so my proposed solution, which I'm not sure if anyone would disagree, is, let's see, rapid prototyping. I've had a pleasure of working with a lot of entrepreneurs over a course of last few years. And I'm also a developer, by the way. I'm a technical founder, so I develop apps, services, and do tech development generally. And I'm working full time as well, and doing FitBus as a part time venture. So I have had a pleasure of working with a lot of entrepreneurs, either in Saskatoon, all over Canada, and one in the United States. And what I found, especially who like solopreneurs, they tend to focus on hiring right people right now and building a right product, whether it be website or an app. They focus on quality over you know progression, which I think is difficult when you're a solopreneur because you have a lot of things going on. You have personal life you have to handle because you're a solopreneur. You have to do everything that a team normally would do in the company. So I feel sorry. A little bit of backstory. I was working with this entrepreneur in Vancouver. He had an app that he wanted me to fix because he had hired um, programmers on over the seas to build his app. He had two different apps: Android app, iOS app. He had dev ops. He had servers running. He had digital oceans. So he had an entire thing of just technologies that were backing his app, and UI of the app wasn't any better. It wasn't usable. There was a lot of issues, and he told me that the reason why he did that because he wanted to show investors that he was a serious entrepreneur and he knew what he was doing. He had spent a lot of resources in building this app, which now was causing a lot of problems because he had run out of money. So he hired me to fix the app, and honestly, I didn't want to take that project, and I had to quit because it was way too much work for one person. So, my proposed solution for so there are when people hear rapid prototyping, they they um, you know envision starships being built, SpaceX building starships and blowing up rockets just to get to the perfect one. And so they raise these concerns with rapid prototyping, which are cost a lot of resources, low quality product initially at least, waste of time and money. All of those are true when you're rapid prototyping, but there are also benefits, or actually that should have been benefits. It's my bad. Benefits of rapid prototyping tend to um, tend to be more beneficial than sorry, pros outweigh the cons, and in these manners. So you can show your progress and traction when you're interacting with investors. And I found this with my startup as well. When I talk to people, I already have a website. I already have interviews that I've done on the website and on Google Forms. I have a Facebook group. I have other groups and Reddit. I have Reddit. I've partnered with Reddit channels to actually show an interest and a need for the app. So progress and traction is a huge deal. A lot of investors now are willing to invest in the startup only if they have traction, only if they know the entrepreneur will, or the owner or founder will make good on his promises and actually finish the app, because it's difficult to actually predict what company is going to be best, or is going to be successful. But if you have a progress and traction, then you can be confident that they are going to be successful. And it also boosts confidence, as I said, in the startup. And it also kind of gives the startup reputation in the community, as like Saskatoon is a very unique community, small, and everyone's always collaborating. And I've met with quite a few entrepreneurs at just events this year, and I've already found quite a few partnerships that I'm going to be introducing to the Fitbuds app in the future, which only happens when you rapid prototype and when you show progress and traction. And it also forces you to interact with different people in your industry, because with this rapid prototyping, you're always trying to iterate and always trying to make the app better, and you're always looking for services that could help your app, and and make you, or make you feel like you're making a progress. Which I think interaction is one of the most overlooked benefits of rapid prototyping, because um, it's it's through these interactions that you learn what people actually want. Then, because even initial interviews, sorry, initial interviews and initial research that you do, it's not going to be enough to get you to the right product. But or interactions are. If you interact with people in the community, you know what they want and how they could benefit from your app, or any other product that you're building. And yeah, and also when you're interacting with people, it invites attention to your business, and people tend to ask a lot of questions, right? And then, so now we talked about the benefits of rapid prototyping. Now, the big issue with rapid prototyping was the cost. How we mitigate the cost are following tools. So for the front end of your digital product, or any app that you're building, or any other type of product, there are a lot of free tools. Most of them actually are free, and you can actually create a wonderful prototype for investors to look at and kind of get the best idea of what your product is going to be eventually. Um, and sorry, one of the things that I've seen with talking to entrepreneurs is there are concerns with when you're using Flutter and React Native. they say that it's limiting, like there's not a lot of features that you get with native, which is true. Yeah, but most startups don't need all the features, and the features you actually need are readily available in both of these technologies, and you can do most of development with these, and never have to worry about, like, never have to go to the native apps, and they make not just your life, but your developer's life a lot easier, because they don't have to maintain two different code base. They don't have to meet with other developers who are working with other apps, be it Android or they don't have to collaborate with each other, and you can only have one person building your front end um, solution basically. And then yeah, so these tools are basically before pre-product, right? You would have to you can design tools. Actually, these two are amazing because actually all of them actually, but you can actually create entire app with these two, Pro.io and Adobe XD. I've used both of these, and they are really great tools. You can actually create an entire mobile app, and it actually functions and everything. So you can actually show investors what you're building before you spend time and build it. And all right, so that's the front end. Now, backend tools. There are a lot of backend solutions that people have misconceptions about. AWS and Firebase are the most famous ones. There's actually AWS Amplify, which is entire backend for your app. You don't need, like, that's the one-stop platform for all your backend solutions for your app. And you can use, and they're relatively like, people think that they are expensive. They're not. When it, like, when you have small user base, they are relatively cheap. But if your user base grows, then you can easily incorporate all of the backend solution, and um, solutions like Heroku and other where you can upload your code, and it's going to be relatively cheaper. But the point of this, talking about this, is it's not that expensive to create Flutter and React Native code or React apps, because it's ultimately more expensive if you're hiring more people to develop one product. It's usually cheaper to build two different apps. Sorry, actually, not even two. You can build iOS, Android, and web app with one code with all of these. So if you are building a digital product, then it doesn't make any sense for solopreneurs to hire different people to build all the um, different products. All right, so that concludes my rant about solopreneurship and their struggles. Now I'm going to talk a bit about my company, FitBuds, as you can see. Right? So the problem FitBuds is solving are, sorry, let me talk about FitBuds before. So FitBuds is an app that creates virtual local communities. What that is um, what that is you create local communities online. So in the app, on the main page, you would choose your city and your home gym, and then it would connect you with all the people who are interested in fitness in your city, in your local area, and in your local gym, so that you can interact with them online and create meetups and whatnot. Because usually, like, you can meet people at gym, but a lot of people go to gym different times, and if you want to make more friends, this is the best way to make friends. with people who have same goals as you. All right. So the problems Fitbits is solving is lack of support. That correlates with lack of community support. So um, one of the main reasons why people don't achieve their fitness goals is because they don't have a support system. Um, people who help them achieve their goals by just being there, or making them holding them accountable, or just by being awesome. um, and then lack of motivation, which means they don't have a check on their progress, and they don't see. Oh, actually, yeah, yeah. So they don't visualize their progress that they've made. They can't do that because it takes at least a month to actually see the results of your effort. And if you're impatient like me, you're not gonna go to gym regularly for a month, and not see results. So that's a huge issue. That's why people tend to give up on their goals. And then there's anxiety, that's holding people back as well, in achieving their fitness goals. And then there's lack of knowledge, about like what to do at the gym. Like how do you build how do you work out a certain area, a certain part of your body, and certain areas. So those are the problems that my preliminary research that I've done for Fitbuds have I've you know identified those problems, and the solution for those is Fitbuds. And how we're solving those problems is, as I mentioned, we're creating virtual local groups. So if you select your local area and then your home gym, we're going to connect people who are in your local area and go to the same gym as you. And we also, on the app, we're going to be encouraging local meetups. So it's not enough for you to go to gym every now and then, and not be like, because we've noticed that people who go to gym alone tend not to follow up on their dreams. If you go as a group, then their chances of success are really high. So we encourage people to meet locally with people they interact with in the app, by by giving them coupons to local coffee shops, or hosting events, or like giving other issuing fit coins, which I haven't mentioned in the presentation yet, or actually not at all. But it's an in-app currency that you can use to purchase anything in our e-commerce website. So we can issue all sort of incentives to get people to meet with each other locally. And then we also are going to be creating local or group activities where you can participate in group runs. So people who are literally across the world from you, you can run at the same time, and or not even at the same time, but you have a feeling of running at the same time because they can be talking to you through your earbuds, and you're going to be hearing announcements of what's going on, and who's leading basically. And then gamification of fitness process basically. So in the games, the main reason why games are so motivating, and why we seem to not be able to quit, is because they give us level of achievements, and level of or sorry, the sense of success, and a sense of progression through XPs and levels. Sorry, experience and levels. So more you use the app, more experience you get, and higher your level gets. Sorry, higher level you are, which unlocks other features in the app, and it gives you um, um, more of basically sense of progress, which is essential to um, achieving the goal of fitness. And and also, as I mentioned, group and individual challenges that we're going to be issuing through the app. um, yeah, I think that's it. That concludes my presentation. Thank you, everyone, for being patient. Yeah, have a great day.